All right, we're back on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We're super excited right now because we are going to be joined by 13-year vet from the NBA. I think he spent part of 4 seasons with the Cavs, including the 2016 championship season.
He is a champion.
Channing Frye, welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. How are you,
Hey,
man?
what's going on, guys? What's going on?
I got to say, it's great to see that smiling face again. We missed that face
boy.
in Cleveland.
Well, I appreciate it. I miss Cleveland. But, I got kids, and we're running around the country doing stuff. And, I've just been really kind of happy with what's going on with the finals. These games have been amazing. It takes me back. I get these texts from our infamous text group of like, man, they still running those same plays. And, look at this play or look at that. And it's nice reminiscing. But 6 years seems so long.
Oh, my God, it really does.
I got to go back to the end of it, the parade. Because that day being downtown for us was like, I'll never forget that moment of that parade, the sea of humanity down East 9th Street. What was that like from your perspective?
Well, number one, I think we only went 2 square miles, and it took us 4.5 hours. So we were like, number one, we had no beers. It was hot as heck, right? So I brought my kids and my friends, and we're in the back of trucks and stuff. Yeah. So we're like, people are throwing us beers, and we're cracking them just to get something to drink. Richard and I, the 2 people probably least deserved to hold that championship trophy, it got lost behind us because we were last. So somebody ran up, and we're the only people, if you look at the film, the only people who have that trophy the whole time until finally somebody from, I think, LeBron's crew or whoever was like, what are you doing? Give this back. And we were like, well, we've already had it for 2 hours, so here you go. The thing's heavy anyways. Man. But it was amazing, man. I'm glad I had that video. It was one of the wildest experiences I may ever have in my entire life.
Mm. Channing, when you talk about that, I've watched that series probably like 8 times from beginning to the end. And I always wondered this, when did you guys have an inkling, like you down 3-1 to the Warriors, and you had that inkling like, oh, we got these dudes. We got these dudes a little bit. We might be able to pull this thing off.
No, you know what? Our attitude was we have to muck this game up, and we have to when Golden State is running, and you see how even last night's game, they go on these crazy runs, and if you don't stop their runs, if you're not physical with them and stick to your game plan, attack the offensive rack, you have to get layups on them. And so if you watch that series, we settle for a lot of jumpers early, and especially in our losses. And then when those guys get out and run, it's impossible to guard them. So for us, we were like, if we just limit our mistakes, we felt like we had the 2 best players in the series. For us, we felt like we did. Yeah. We felt like Bron could get you 40, obviously what he did, and Kyrie can go off between 30 and 50, and everyone else just has to play minimal mistake basketball. And then I think for us, when we figured out we were going to be kind of the I don't want to say the bullies, but we were the guys kind of messing with Steph, messing with Draymonds. We kind of leave Clay alone because we like him. But, we just were like, if you get a layup on them, you can give your defense a chance to get set. If you miss a long, bad 3, they have 5 guys who can get out and run, and then that's dribble handoffs, and then they're running crazy. And being up 2 going down 7 in 3 possessions. So that's how we saw it. But when it got to Game 7, we said, hey, all the pressure's on them. We wouldn't have made it here if it wasn't our chance to win it.
Shandy, something that drives me crazy. I know it drives the fans here crazy. And I wonder if it bothers you and the other players. I feel like it's still to this day, members of the national media, especially, even the guys on TNT and ESPN, will often say when referring to that series, if Draymond doesn't get suspended, the Warriors would have won the game. Okay, listen, we never know what would happen. Who knows? We'll never know. But there's guys, right? But it's so stupid because every year there's a guy hurt. You guys the year before, Kevin Love got hurt. Kyrie Irving. Nobody ever brings that up in 2015. No. That gets taught. That Draymond suspension for that game, I think it's brought up as an excuse more than any other that I can think of. Is that fair, and does it tick you guys off?
No, those people can kiss my ass because we still had to win 2 more games.
That's what it's all about.
And And number two, let's be real. The biggest injury, the biggest play in that whole series was Andrew Bogut getting hurt.
Yep.
Andrew Bogut, it was huge for them. Yeah. Imagine what Looney is doing, but assist, better screener, better passer, and better shot blocker. Like when he got hurt, that's when we said we have to get layups. If you watch the first games when he was playing, he was blocking everything. He was everywhere, right? And then when they had to play that small lineup a lot, I think Kevin got a concussion. Richard started. Mm-hmm. So now we were switching all five, which is the only way to really play them. You cannot play basketball defensively against them and put two people on the ball. They're just too well. They do three things, all of them, every single one do three things really well. Maybe except right now for Jordan Poole. I think he does two things really well. But for me and us, when Kevin got hurt, Richard went in, that changed it, and Andrew Bogut getting hurt. The Draymond thing is the Draymond thing. Let's talk about the 24 other technicals he got. It's our job to make him get another technical. If you didn't, it's our job to make Steph upset where he throws his mouthpiece. Right. It's our job to make this game as unflattering as possible to give ourselves a chance. We're desperate. If you're in a bar fight, you think I'm not going to bite you? I'm going to tear your fingers off. I don't care if I got to win. Like, what are we doing? There's no rules. We got to win, and we did. So everyone who devalues that championship, just, number one, kiss my ass. Number two, you don't know what you're talking about. And number three, we have the greatest championship in the last 20 years, and that's just a fact.
No doubt.
You know, let me follow that up real quick because I'll be with you, and I was feeling so good coming off that. And then the Golden State Warriors did the unthinkable. Now, you talked about how hard it was to guard these dudes with the handoffs, and then they go get Kevin Durant. And it's
impossible.
We got my OG, shout out to Brad Sellers, the mayor. My OG, I tell him, I said, listen, I'm going to let you know right now, I like Chicago Bulls. I like a lot of those teams, but that Golden State Warriors team was the best team ever assembled. Ever.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's
just
like,
facts.
Who are you switching? Because remember on those old Bulls teams, I'll say this. Steve Kerr was out there. You got, whether you want to go with John Paxson, there was a dud out there that was not an elite defensive player. Okay? So you got to double team Steph. You got to double team at some point Clay. Draymond is going to be efficient at what he does, and Kevin Durant is a lot. He's who? You can't say Scotty, you can't say Jordan because they're not 7 foot. And at the end of the day, in transition, you're not always going to be able to match up like that. That was a problem. Is that when somebody, let's say we switch, which is the only way to defend them, you can't show, you can't drop an ice, you can't double team. Because who are you going to give it to? Oh, Andre Iguodala, Finals MVP, Kevin Durant, Steph, Clay, Draymond. All these dudes are like point guards. And Draymond just can't score that well, but regardless, it was when we were watching film, we were like, all right, who are we going to double team today? The greatest shooter of all time or the top 3 scorer of all time? And then we just got to pick and choose. And then they had the guy who scored the most points in a quarter. So you can't not pay attention to him and everyone else that got a green light. It's just, come on, man. Let's watch the film, realize how amazing that team was. And nobody had a chance unless they got hurt, which is why Toronto won. And they still almost lost that series.
Channing, you mentioned the Steph Curry with the mouthpiece. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but like that would drive the fans crazy. At the time, I was doing a radio show before moving over to this show, and I would be frothing at the mouth, screaming about how much every time he would have that mouthpiece hanging out of his mouth, you wanted to jump through the TV. And, you don't really want to do it, but you get caught.
Totally.
It made us all so angry as a player. And you just mentioned it briefly that you would mess with Steph and you mess with Draymond because they were annoying. And even as fans were like, Clay's not as annoying as those guys. But you guys felt the same way too, huh?
Well, you have to learn to hate them. They are great, genuinely awesome human beings, all of them. Andre Iguodala is a college teammate. Steve Kerr is a U of A guy, so he got to be cool. And he was my mentor, gave me my chance in Phoenix. Sean Livingston is a genuinely nice guy. Draymond is a great guy. Clay is awesome. Steph is an angel. Like, they're nice guys.
Right.
They play basketball in a way that is conducive for them to be unstoppable when they get into a rhythm. we had to make stuff up in our mind to hate them. We were like, ooh, I hate his mouthpiece. Or why does he rub his feet like that? Like, we watched so much of them. You had to, because then you don't let them they're not Draymond's a talker, but Draymond's like, that's his job. Yeah. He has to be the bad kid on the private school team, right? Because that's what gets them going. Yeah. Because they're nice. So for us, we had to be the bad public school kids that nobody believed in. Yeah. Right? So that was our attitude. We were like, F this guy, F that guy. Luke Walton is Richard Jefferson and I's best friend for a long time. Jaron Collins was on their coaching staff, and some of the other guys I've known since my Phoenix days. They text me and Richard, hey, good luck this series. We said, F you, don't text us the whole series. Yeah. Don't talk to us. Yes. Don't talk to us.
Yeah, you need to hate them.
Fans love that.
You have to hate them. Yeah. You can't give them an inch or else they're going to beat you. Like last night, Boston started giving them inches, and they started taking those inches. Yep. And then, like Clay, you don't show on that screen. You're back a foot. You're back, not in his airspace, and now he makes 2 or 3 threes. You think Jordan Poole's not going to shoot that shot. He shoots it, makes it to finish the quarter. Like, those are things you can't give them. You can't give them anything. They're too good.
I feel like that's where they won the game. They hit that last-second shot going into the third quarter. They came out in the fourth quarter, and they were clearly inspired by that, and they rode it all the way to the victory. I want to ask you, why is it – I know he's a great player and everything, and he's the greatest shooter the game's ever seen. But why is it last night, while Steph is throwing one brick after another, finished 0 for 9 for three-point range, I never heard Mike Breen. I never heard Van Gundy. Nobody said, and why is this guy getting a pass?
Well, I think we look at, he's easy to love. And Golden State Warriors fans will, in droves, come at you. They will cancel you so quick if you say anything about Steph Curry. Now, I'll say this. I thought Steph Curry missed those shots because, number one, he was being guarded at half court. He wanted to make an impact on the game. He needed a rhythm. And if you notice, before he made his first one, they were forcing him to make twos. And that is very uncomfortable for him, right? When he can't get a three off, I don't know if he was ready to get into that rhythm. I thought Boston did a good job defensively on him, pushing him into those hard floaters. That's exhausting for him. And then on the other end, you notice everyone has the green light to go against him. Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they clear out when Steph is on him because that's the matchup they wanted. Boston went away from that. When things got tough, they stopped finding him. He's the only guy other than Jordan Poole that might get you a double team from Golden State to get you open threes. But Steph is untouchable, and this is just a fact. He's untouchable about any game if he doesn't play that good. It's just, you can't say anything or else people are going to jump on you. He's not like LeBron, which is polarizing. He is the poster child. We love him no matter what. And, I mean, he's earned it. He's a bad boy. But, yeah, he doesn't get the same treatment as the other superstars.
Yeah, he deserved to have his game ripped last night. And I know he's a great player and everything else, but he would miss one after another, and nobody was saying anything about what the hell's wrong with Steph.
Right.
It just seemed like he was getting a pass for the entire game. It was driving me nuts.
Channing, excellent analysis, the kind of analysis we've come to expect from you. I love what you bring. That. I love what you bring to the NBA in your post-NBA career right now as far as a player.
Thank you.
And you and obviously Jefferson are great together. You guys, if you guys get this Muppet reference, you're like the Statler and Waldorf of the NBA.
Yes.
That's you guys. Yes. Just so you know, which should be taken as the honor with which I mean it.
It is. I got it.
Loved watching you play here. Loved watching you stretch the floor out. Loved being here in 16 for the championship. But we've buried the most important thing that we should be talking about. I want to know everything about Timothy Mozgov. Everything you know. I want to know what he ate.
I'm going to tell you this. He was as strong as an ox, and he always stayed ready, which is respectable. When we went to the smaller lineup with Tristan or me or Kevin or me, and maybe Braun and me, we went at that 4-5. I'll say this. Mozzie was doing full court workouts that were like rookie rookie summertime workouts just so he was ready.
Well, he was
also,
Russian,
Mozzie was
of course.
an awesome teammate. Yeah, oh, dude, listen. I feel sorry. If it was him or a bear,
there.
I'd be like, pray for the bear. Right? And then he has the best commercial I've ever seen in my life.
Let's roll it right now. We've got it. Here it is.
No, we don't. What?
Get this weak stock out of here. I'm hungry for the brew garden. Fabulous food, fine spirits, fantastic people. My home away from home, the brew garden.
Now hiring both locations.
Oh my God, I've never seen that before.
I love how he looks off
Get this
camera.
weak
All right,
stock
that's
out
probably
of here.
enough. Just the once.
I'm hungry for the brew garden.
Just the once.
Fabulous
Oh
food,
my God, I've never
fine
seen
spirits,
that.
Everyone,
fantastic.
before I know we all want to talk about it, but just shut up for a second. We actually have somebody who could answer some questions here. I've had so many questions about this for so long. All right, maybe you can help out. A couple of theories out of the gate. First of all, I'm thinking the jersey's on backwards because they realized that they couldn't use a licensed NBA logo at the last
That's
second.
exactly why.
So they turned it around because the Brew Garden manager didn't think about that.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Secondly, he looks like he's looking off to the side as if he's already done this like 47 times and it hasn't gone right yet, and he's scared he's going to get yelled at again. Third, I think he got taken advantage of and probably did that in exchange for wings. Answer those in any order you want to.
Number one, I've never seen Mozzie reading an English book. I've only seen him reading Russian books, so I don't know how good his English reading is. Number two, that fake jersey, I don't know who BG is. I know we're not sponsored by
It's
them.
Brugard's.
It's from Team Brew Garden.
Oh my
I did
God.
not put two and two together, so that's Channing being stupid. Three, I don't know how many beers I've ever seen him pay, but Brew Garden should keep replaying this for their entire history.
Yes.
And he had the Brew Garden, like, Ruski hats that they had extra when I got traded here. And so I had like 7 of them and wore them the whole time. It would be like, hey, Mozzie, where do you want to go eat? I'd be like, you want to go to the Brew Gardens? But yeah, he didn't know. He didn't know
Get
what
those
was
weak
happening.
stuff
They
out of
got
you.
him.
No.
Yeah, get their weeks. And they did. There's another actual commercial with somebody I think works, a lady who works at the Brew Garden that owns it.
Yeah,
that's equally as
it's
funny,
fantastic.
awkward,
Oh
and
my
like,
God.
Yes.
where are we? Are we in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Where are we? Like, what city is
That
this?
is amazing.
Yeah, it is. If we have the other one, it's fantastic.
Oh,
should
we
show
got
that
it?
one,
Do we
too.
have the other one? We don't.
There should be one connected to that. You'll find it's Brew Garden 2, Maz Gob or something.
I'm on it. Hold on.
He's on it.
Okay.
We're getting to it.
Dude.
But no, and this one opens up a whole new mystery because it introduces a new character to the scenario.
Okay.
Her name is Lisa.
Okay.
All right, and here's what I've noticed about this commercial. This is where he's actually interacting with somebody. And first of all, he says, "Hey, Lisa, you really raised the ceiling," which isn't a saying. First of
No.
all, and secondly, it's like poorly. It's really
She
poorly.
raised the bar or raised the roof?
And no, I know it should have been one of those things.
That's
Secondly,
bad.
Lisa's like definitely the most like, no, very Parma. Lisa's very Parma.
Oh my God.
Lisa's extremely Parma. And also he says fabulous food, great spirits, the Brew Garden, my home away from home. And then the tag says, the Brew Garden, you had me at hello, which makes no sense. That is just a quote from Jerry Maguire.
No, they love Jerry Maguire. They love the movie.
What does that have to do with Brew Garden?
Nothing.
Unlike in the first one where he used the tag of his 15-second commercial to mention they were hiring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's trying to get that across.
That's
These are
bizarre
my
too.
favorite
Do we have it or no?
It was the best.
I'm downloading it now. Give
All
me
right,
2
wait.
minutes.
We're
We'll have
down?
it.
Let me-
it
let
was
me-
the best.
Channing, I got to get to something else because I think this is important. I know we're having
More
fun.
important than
no,
this?
I'm telling you, I need to know because
Okay.
we got to talk about how the team eventually broke up. I think that's important.
Yeah.
You know, fans were
Facts.
very angry. Like Kyrie we all loved Kyrie, and then we all hated Kyrie because he wanted out of Cleveland.
Right.
He recently said that he made mistakes that time. Kyrie is an enigma, right? There are times where he talks and you're like, this is the smartest guy in the NBA. And there are times where he talks and you're like, this is the dumbest guy in the NBA. I can't explain it. Explain to us, like, what is he the smartest guy, the dumbest guy? Is he in between? And what happened between him and LeBron?
So nothing happened between him and LeBron. I think everyone asked me this question. A lot of people asked me this question. It was more, have you seen like A League of Their Own?
Of course, yeah.
Do you remember when Kit, I think her name was Kit, was tired
Yeah.
of Dottie getting all the attention?
Sure,
I
sure.
think it comes to space when Kyrie hits one of the biggest shots in the history of the NBA in the NBA Finals that has never been done before. What's next for him, right? And it was always going to be Bron's team because of Bron's play style. So it had nothing to do with Kyrie the person. It has to do with Bron's play style. Bron makes me, Mozzie, Deli, Shump, Tristan champions. And that's just a fact. He makes us better because we have to be prepared. He makes us better because we expect to win every game. And he makes us better because if we don't win a championship, we're getting shipped out of there. You know that.
Right.
But you want that opportunity. That same responsibility does not come with Kyrie. And I think he felt like at his age, he could do that. But he didn't know all the other stuff that happens to that. The leadership, the understanding of substitutions, the diving into the game. And as Kyrie got older, he realized that his role of making a team good is vastly different than LeBron's role. And I think how they approach the game is vastly different. But Kyrie is an awesome human. He is extremely smart. But Kyrie does not live a regular life most superstars in the NBA do. So sometimes when he speaks, I understand what he's trying to say, but regular people don't, because do you think Kyrie goes to a regular restaurant? Do you think Kyrie probably gets driven everywhere, lives in a big old mansion on the top of some building? Yeah. He's involved in different charities. He comes and goes as he wants to. So it's different. He's not wrong. It's just not relatable at times, which is why sometimes you're like, what the hell is he talking about? And I'm like, okay, I kind of get what he's saying.
But the flat earth, Channing. Flat earth?
Yeah, he lost me at
that
the
was
flat
on our
earth.
podcast, and I think he was trolling.
Okay.
And then I think, so he said it on our podcast.
Yeah.
And
but then he
was
doubled
laughing
down
when he said it. And then when it came out during the All-Star break, I think he was more like trolling everyone.
Yeah.
But his main point was, I don't believe anything until I see it, regardless. That's just
that's
him.
fair.
That's Kyrie.
Yeah.
Right. And that's really what he was trying to say. Right. And so it blew up into this other thing. And he just goes, I don't care what people think about me.
Yeah,
which he for
doesn't.
sure doesn't.
Fair enough.
No, he does not. He does not.
Hey, Channing,
which I love him for, because it is what it is.
We've got about 3 minutes before I let you go.
Yeah.
There's got to be one story. I'm sure there's a million. There's got to be one story from the 2016 season, finals or not, anytime during the 2016 season, that is your favorite story, one that you go to when you're speaking to groups or, just talking to non-NBA folks. What is your story from the championship season that you most love to tell?
I'll say this, and I think this is I don't only tell this to like basketball people, right? Because I've told all the other funny ha-ha stories. So we're playing, and I think people forget that year we were losing to teams we had no business losing to.
Oh, yeah.
And, right? And so all of a sudden everyone was like, hey, James Jones was like, enough is enough. Like, we have a week before, we play. We got to fix this, right? So James Jones is like, Channing, Mozzie, everyone coming off the bench. We're doing extra work. We're doing this, and really kind of rallied us and kind of brought us together. But it was crazy how we were just BSing a lot of these games. Well, they were. And it was just like, wait, I don't like losing. And the minute that it came down to who we're playing, we were playing Detroit in the first round. I had never seen a team go from some golden retrievers to rabid wolves like that. I have never seen it. We couldn't practice. T-Lou wouldn't let us practice against each other. It was that intense.
Wow.
Like, it went from, who we playing, this or that, okay, to who is this? Who is my assignment? When does he get in the game? What are his favorite, tendencies? When does this substitution? Like, I knew when I would go in to the point of T-Lou really didn't even have to look at me. I'd go in, somebody goes in, I go in. I know the 3 or 4 plays they're running. I know the 4 or 5 plays we're running. And then, after every game, everyone, whether they played or not, was taking care of their body like they played 48 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
That's
we
what it
were
takes.
so locked in. Yes, so locked in. It was wild. When I say we were around each other 14 to 16 hours every day, that is no BS. Wow. It was, we practice together, eat lunch afterwards, eat dinner. You may take a nap, eat dinner. It was my family did not exist for a part. They see me when I'm going to bed, waking up, and after we win a series, it was just crazy how close you know, it was like, God, I'm so tired of going to damn lunch with LeBron. You know, but I got to do it.
Hey, that's what it takes to
Everybody.
be a champion, though. That's what it
Channing, we
takes.
know you got to go. We
For
really
sure.
appreciate the time. Real quick, last thing,
yeah.
just a minute on the current Cavaliers and especially your guy,
boy.
Kevin Love, playing this new role.
So number one, Kevin, I talk to him every day. It's my best friend. This role has been great for him as his maturity of the game and to see the game in a different way. Kevin has always been, and I think is a very underrated power forward in the history of our game. What Kevin has done for the teams he's been on has been amazing. His skill set is top notch. But again, in today's world, where is he best successful? That's coming off the bench, taking advantage of mismatches, being a great vet, teaching guys how to be champions. And so I love this role for him, especially if you look at the better teams in the league. They have 5 guys that are switching guys. Kevin isn't necessarily a switch guy at the starters level right now, but he is an absolute beast when he comes off the bench because of his arsenal, both offensively and to rebound the basketball outside of his area. This team is amazing. My biggest question is, if you look at some of the better teams in the NBA, how many guys can make a play for other guys, all right? You look at Golden State, who's elite. They got 4 on the court at all times. You look at Boston, they have 3, maybe 4 on the court at all times. How many guys other than Darius Garland for Cleveland can make a play for someone else?
That's a good point.
And that's what happened in the playoffs. When you take Darius Garland away, everyone at this age is uncomfortable driving, kicking, seeing the game with their head up. They're used to being singular style players. I'm just a 3-and-D. I'm a roll and catch. No, you got to be 2 or 3 different things for you guys to be better. Also, the jump that Isaac Okoro had this year was amazing. I need a bigger jump. I need you to be able to catch, drive, kick out, relocate, and be comfortable shooting those threes because of all the work that he does defensive end. You deserve it. You don't deserve 20 shots. I would say about 12 to 14 is good. But if you can get those, most of those aren't going to be threes. That you, with his athleticism, with his aggressiveness, he needs to attack the rack. And finally, the bench. I love Kevin coming off the bench. I thought Ricky Rubio was huge for them. I like Karis LeVert coming off the bench, but they need a guard, like a eyes-up guard to play with that second unit to make it run, right? And that's just my opinion.
Is Rubio an option there still? Do you think he can heal
Well,
up?
if he can heal up, I would absolutely take him back. I think the teammates
DeJounte
love him.
Murray. I want DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, but what are you going to give up to get him?
Where's he going?
Yeah, I know,
You
right?
got to give up the city for that.
I think
Sexton, Okoro, and 52 first-round
Hey,
picks.
Channing, he also wants a
bye.
pony for Christmas. Okay?
Yeah, no. San Antonio.
You guys are dismissing DeJounte Murray. Isn't
No.
DeJounte Murray a superstar?
We're not dismissing him.
They were killing him.
No,
They
we're
were
not
killing
killing
him.
him.
They say he
We're
is
saying
nice.
you're going to have to give up too much to get him.
Unlike an injured Ricky Rubio, who I think we have a pretty good chance at.
Yeah, we're pretty good chance.
Channing,
Right.
I want to, before we say goodbye, I want to tell everybody you got the T-shirt on, Road Trippin'.
Great
It's a great
Amazing.
podcast
Amazing.
with you and Richard. It's unbelievable. It's the best in the game. Also, your work on TNT is fantastic. Expect much
Thank
bigger
you.
Phenomenal.
things from Channing down the road because he is, for my money, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Cavs fan and I'm biased, I think he's one of the best in the game right now.
Oh,
at
he's
what he
phenomenal.
does.
He's the best.
Keep up the good work. And
Thank you,
also,
guys. I
quickly,
appreciate
You're the best.
you and Kevin Love are in business with what's the name of the wine if folks want to buy it?
Chosen Family Wines.
Chosen
So
Family
after
Wines.
I left basketball,
Yep.
chosenfamilywines.com. Check it out. Just 2 guys that love wine that want to share it. It was a big part of our 16 team. Thank God,
Right.
not too big because we won.
Nice.
But then you just took that and the experiences and seeing a new place. I was just in Napa 2 days ago. Mind was blown. I was like a little kid out there, you
I
know.
bet,
So check it out. Good
Channing,
juice.
thanks so much
Thanks,
for coming
Channing.
on.
You're awesome, man.
Great stuff.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.